Hello everyone, and welcome to the stream. This is Otaku Showboat. Today is a Wednesday, August 28th, 2019. So very sad we're already starting August, coming up on Sunday. Oh goodness. If you're watching the VOD on YouTube, don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and if you are so inclined, head on over to twitch.tv/OtakuShowboat to leave a follow and turn on notifications to be reminded when I go live. Starting next week from Sunday, Tuesday, and Thursday, 10 a.m. to approximately 1 p.m. U.S. Eastern Time. You can follow me on Twitter at Otaku Showboat, as well as visit my website at otakushowboat.com. There, of course, are links to all of these in the description below the video and below my Twitch stream video on my channel page. Today is going to be all about finishing up the high-grade lead, as well as starting to work on the drilling fluid too. Now, a couple of notes I want to make beforehand as the game loads. So I've started to get a map set up and in place for my tutorial videos. Specifically, I've decided that I'm going to use the Infinity mod to help with the breakdown of each of the ore chains over technology. I think that is the easiest way of doing it in the end, is just have Infinity mode on and bring up a map and then go through and actually build out the full chains, what the full chains actually look like for the ore processing, and then make a video for each one discussing timings for the various steps, where each step like sort of terminates, and you do casting and how the casting efficiency increases as you go further down the chain and all of that. However, Pyanodon, I do need to make note of this. I think I've mentioned it before, but I need to mention it again. I don't know if this is a problem strictly with your mod, but the actual craft time mod is crashing the game on your pump jacks from Pi Industry. So your Pi Industry pump jacks are crashing with the actual craft time mod. So if I ever were to want to ground bore, use drilling fluid to get crude oil from pump jacks, I can't actually do it, because as soon as I assign a recipe to the pump jack, the game crashes. Not like hard crash, but it brings up an error message from actual craft time mod. And I don't know if it's truly actual craft time not being coded right for that specific thing, or if it's probably some interaction between how you're doing the pump jack recipe and how actual craft time is trying to pull the information, because it's trying to pull a nil value somewhere with the crude oil in particular. So there is a crash somewhere in there, I think, related also to crude oil. It's weird that happens, but yeah, as it stands, because I'm using actual craft time, I can't actually use your pump jacks anymore, or at all, because it will just crash on me. I was in the middle of setting up the iron chain post unslimed iron, and yeah, the Xylenol, or whatever the heck it's called, trying to make that in a way that doesn't use a humongous footprint to make it renewably. A is hard, B is can involve crude, and I was thinking, well, what would it look like to try and use crude? I was trying to experiment with crude oil and seeing, hey, would it actually be worth using drilling fluid to get crude to fuel this xylenol production? But it crashed and I lost everything, all of my testing at that point. So yeah, that's a problem. That's a bit of a problem. Apparently Nixie Tubes is updated. I mean, I am using it, but I think it can wait. So yeah, I currently have the entire copper chain set up and blueprinted. I have one specific section of that blueprinted, and I will absolutely make use of it because copper's actually pretty easy. I'm going to go ahead and switch to the game with webcam now and load up our stream save because I've already synced here. I have also taken the time, as soon as we finish loading. Come on, I know it's a big save. There we go. So last time we worked on lead processing. I have also taken the time of changing this blueprint. So this blueprint will be no more. No more of that blueprint. Instead, it shall be this. So I have a new blueprint that I won't have to deal with the wires anymore being problematic. So the way this new blueprint works is it's removed the need for medium power poles entirely. I no longer need the medium power poles on this blueprint. As you can see, I've moved the charging stations to be in the middle, and I'm using more charging stations now for this. So I think this is a pretty cool idea to change it to be this way. It's a nice transition, and it kills my problems. It gets rid of my problems. However, that is only one of the blueprints. I do have one other one that I want to bring in. Have I done the export? I have, so I don't need to hold on to that in my inventory. Just like I probably don't need to hold on to you anymore. I'm not even going to use you anymore. So I have one other one that is related. That is this. What the heck is this? Well, this is a double. This is a double-sized square. So it's a 2x2 instead of that 1x1. This is the 2x2, and I will eventually need the 2x2 because this is what will be used for the more advanced copper processing. Oddly enough, this will be used for the more advanced copper processing, and there's good reason why it uses this much space. But what I was thinking is that I might want this to just be a line here, just to use this. And you can see it actually works out fairly well. Just place that down. There is a tiny little spot in the middle that's not covered by the roboports, but I am perfectly okay with that. And you can see how this tiles, it does have 4 roboports and 4 charging stations at these nodes. So, that's a thing. I have extra big now squares that will exist. And as I had said, I don't need to worry at all about the wires anymore. That's not a concern. Okay, when we left off, I needed to get the pressured air going. I need how much in total? 100 units, so that's 5 pressure pumps. Let's make sure I get pressure pumps and have them. So also remember that I am trying to keep things as compact as possible here. So let's see. 5 of those making pressured air. They make 20 apiece. Do I have the pressured air connected? I do. So that is fine. Huh, you are actually working. I will need to dump the tailings. Let's see here. I need to go over here. You only have that out? Yeah. Cool. I am okay with this. This is the silver lead solution. And this is also silver lead solution on the output. May as well go through and do all the power. Let these guys move. Do their glorious thing. Now, oddly enough, outside of the just sheer amount of machines that are needed on the copper processing area to get up to high-grade copper, the fluid, the outside fluid needed for it is not that bad. There are some things that I will want to do first that I'm going to be doing anyway, and that is a lard farm. I'm going to need to make a lard farm. Also, this... I mentioned I had wanted to have like an empty line of the grid, so I'm thinking that this 2x2 is probably just going to be the empty line. Or I can make a standard 1x1 part of the grid up above and have that be the, quote, empty line, so I can actually make use of these 2x2s. Speaking of which, I need to do something with the output here. Oh, that's unfortunate. This is glycerol. Is there anything useful for glycerol? Oh, cold briquettes. Oh, hi. Epichlorohydrin. Oh, hi. Yeah, there's lots of things, apparently, that can use this glycerol. Thing is, glycerol can be made by itself when there's only one way of getting oleochemicals. So, I'm gonna dump it. Bye. How much gets made here? Yeah, way less than is pretty much required. I'm gonna increase the lard request just because of the distance factor. You are good at making that. I also need you. How much? Just the one. No more tailings. That will get my silver lead going. I'll do a second one just to help keep the backlog clear. Alright, so then I have to do the silver lead solution step. Also, I will note that I did, between last stream and this stream, get another Twitch follow, so thank you to that person. I will do the thing. There you go. That's the notification. Hi. Welcome to the stream. Hopefully. Maybe at some point they'll come and we can say hi. So I now only need 4. I'm down to 4 more follows required for the affiliate requirements. Still need that average viewership, and you know, starting next week, today being a Wednesday, I will not be streaming on Wednesdays, and starting off this stream, I can already see I only have my one self as the viewer recorded currently. At least I think it's only recording me right now. I don't know, Twitch is a little iffy at times on the actual viewer count, especially early in the stream. It's like you have to be watching for at least a minute, and you can't have the stream itself be at really low volume. There's ways around that. You can mute in the browser and still count as a viewer. You can mute the whole browser or just adjust the browser volume separately on your system to have it still count as a view, but otherwise, if you mute the stream on the Twitch player, you'd stop counting as a viewer. Though oddly enough, the broadcaster will still count as a viewer when viewing their stream on the dashboard, even with the stream muted. It's a little weird how that works. That's just what I've noticed. That is just what I've noticed. So silver, where's my notes? Where's my notes? There's my notes. Solution 2 and 3 from 1 in hydrocyclone. Hydrocyclone. How many of these bad boys am I going to be needing? Oh, I'm afraid. I am very afraid. Ooh. Wait, what? G1 tin is involved in the hippo blood, right? Don't they feed on the phytoplankton, which requires the G1 tin? So, tin to solvent. Oh, I would need a lot of hydrocyclones. Never mind. Of course, as usual, Kitty is next to me, trying to sleep today. You know, on his spot, right next to me. He likes being next to me. Actually, I think he just likes being up on my desk. He likes this particular spot. Just has become part of his routine at this point. He likes being at this spot. Spends part of the night up here, in fact. Alright. Silver lead solution 2. Needs lime. I am processing how much again? You make 30. And you make 30. So just the one is fine here. 2 per second on lime. That is well within the bounds of that. Just have to bring down my stuff. Just have to bring down my stuff. There we go. You make 2 and 3. Pulp. Let's see, and then 2 is into 3 in a thickener. So, thickeners. Oh boy, do I even have thickeners? I don't think so. I do! Holy crap! Holy crap, I have thickeners. And I'm actually carrying one around with me. Holy crap, this is a thing that exists. I know I can put this somewhere better, but never mind. Ooh. That's just using wastewater. Silver lead solution 3, just add water. You get 50, it's 1-to-1, so that is just fine. Can't have this here exactly. I said cut, not, if I move this over, that helps a lot. How does this work with the tailings? Because Aww. Does not matter how much spaghetti I get out of this, as just so long as it's tileable. I don't really care how much spaghetti we've got, as long as we've got tiles. Hello. Hello, you're getting up? You're getting up and you're leaving? You're leaving! Why are you leaving? You actually ate your breakfast today. Why would you want to leave? Why would you want to leave me, kitty? Oh, he's on my chair. He's on the lap. He's entered the lap. Kitty has entered the lap. He has entered the lap. We've got Kitty on the lap. He's just standing here. We've got tail in camera. we've got a tail in the camera. Yeah. Are you gonna... What are you gonna do? Huh? What are you gonna do? Am I gonna have to pick you up and show your face? So, show that face. Oh, there he goes. There he goes. He's on the desk. Oh no, he's pushing buttons. Yeah, he's pushing buttons. Now he's here. He's here. He's here, guys and gals. He's right here. He's right here. That's tail. That's tail. Blocking my screen. Could you not block the screen, please? That'd be ideal. Yeah. That's my Scraggle cat. That's the Scraggle cat. He needs to get his Scraggles out. That's not a lot of water. Is it really worth putting the thing here? I guess. It fits anyway. Slurry, whatever, to... Solution to, I should say. And that just leaves solution 3. Fortunately, oh. Alright. That's the thing. So, solution 3, like... Alright, 75-ish. I don't even know what the numbers are at this point. I don't even care what the numbers are at this point. Alright, filters! Filters gives me silver lead concentrate. Oh goodness, this is... My file, my window for my notepad ended up extending past the screen. It's like, why can't I go further? Why can't I scroll further? Oh, that's why. Alright, how many filters do I need? Oh, I suppose I should take this guy. Place that there. Yeah, I'm not gonna get the, stuff. But, anyway, let's see here. Filters, then solid separators. Which I said I was going to pilfer some solid separators from down here. How am I going to do that? I'm gonna start with this. Oh, I apparently placed all of them. I'm gonna just, like, take this whole line away. That's what I'm gonna do. And if I need more, I need more. I have way more solid seps down there than what I truly need. Please take those away. In fact, I have a thingy. Oh god. Performance, please. Please come in handy for me. All my Constructobots doing their job. Yeah, this is so much nicer. This new grid setup. Though oddly enough, I've noticed that this grid is not designed at max distance of the thingies. It's not designed at max distance. Because it's adapted from medium poles, if I'm not mistaken. So because it's adapted from a thing that I did with medium poles to match and try to keep things the same, that's why it's ended up this exact sizing. So just know that the exact sizing is a little bit off. A little bit off kilter. Okay, I am here for filters. How many filters am I going to need? I should be carrying around filters. Hello? Filters! Do I have any... Filter 2s made? I do. I do! So I will make use of them. I will make great use of them. Alright, filters. Making silver, lead, concentrate. I am making in total approximately 75 units. Oh. I can do this with a... one. With one. Just, you know, one. One! One is good. One is good. One works. I don't need these, actually. Thanks. Because it's gonna be 75-ish of the solution 3 to be filtered. And since I'm using a second thingy anyway, I may as well just keep it there. We'll, I might shift you to there. And then I need a requester, and a provider, and a thingy, and a thingy, and a thingy, and that. Give me my filtration media. Give me my solution 3. All of it will be processed into 1.5 silver lead concentrate. And from here, solid separator, solid separator. Making high-grade lead and silver. A Mark II actually fully does the thing. Okay, I'm torn. I'm torn here because... well, that's fine. Like, all of it. It's the outputs that are problematic, shall we say? So... high-grade lead and silver. Yep. I want them separated. Why do I want them separated? Because if I have too much lead, I need to void somewhere. Something. I'm thinking it would be voiding at the molten phase. Now that I'm thinking about it, I think it would be done at the molten. But do I really want to, like, void graphite? Yeah, I don't really want to void graphite, so if I'm going to void anything, it would be this. how would I do that? I would do that by... Alright, so I'm going to need electric arc furnaces. Ideally Mark IIs, which I have. I'm also going to need basic oxygen furnaces. And casting units. Well, I have the casting units. Don't have the EAFs and don't have the BOFs. I no longer need to really hold on to a lot of this stuff, actually. So while I'm here, this stuff is going to be needed in the processing of iron, the further processing of iron. A lot of it to make pulp too. There are several ways of getting xylenol. This is one of them. It uses phenol and iron oxide and methanol. I don't like it very much because it's like the footprint for the phenol is big. Iron oxide footprint is pretty big. Methanol's fine. Doesn't really matter, but alright, let's start actually making high-grade lead and silver. 1-to-1 with each other. Do I have my arc furnaces? I do. I do have my arc furnaces. Let's do this up here. Oh, I had a tuft of cat hair on my monitor just now. How many of these am I going to need? That is a good question. So note that you can do molten out of silver lead solution 1. Ooh, it uses less graphite than that. Interesting. Interesting. 0.33. How much? 0.5-ish. So my idea was alright, well, we'll request graphite and borax. But then here, this is where we'll request the high-grade lead. Why is that important? Because it allows me to then void the high-grade lead. That is exactly what it allows. It allows for high-grade lead to be voided when I have excess amounts of lead. For now, I'm going to leave it as is. But know that just adding a splitter there and like having a couple of burners will be fine. So this gives me like a lot. Like 200 molten lead or something like that. Let's see, what does the casting unit have to say about these things? Lead plate from Molten. Oh, hello. Meow. Big meow. 25 per second. 200. Guys, I think I think I'm going to have enough lead plates. I think I don't have to worry about lead plates for a while. Two per second sand castings, though, is a lot of sand castings. I don't know off the top of my head how many sand castings I'm currently making. 8, though. That's a problem. Seriously, though, that's a problem. There's, like, no chance I can fit 8. Can I... Alright, well, I can do that. That works. Like, guys, I think I have enough lead. I think I have the lead. I did say I would have all of the lead, right? All of the lead on the planet? Yeah. So I need that to be a thing. Across the board. Oh, that's gonna be a problem. That's an issue, actually. There. That's that functional again, and that lets me have my requesters. And that, as I say, should be that. I just need to power everything now. Once the sand comes up, we'll be good. Then I can't forget about the burners. I don't know off the top of my head how much a burner can burn. Yeah, that's something I just don't know off the top of my head. How much can a burner burn? Per second. Actually, I don't need that. I need... that. Oh, really? Did not make this easy for myself, did I? BRB Coke. Coke. So excess will get burned in this. I don't know if it's capable, if just one is capable of burning 1.5 per second, but it won't, or half per second. It better be. Like, it better be capable of burning half per second. So, yeah, I like the idea of like 100 lead per second. That 100 lead plates per second, that's like, that amuses me greatly. But we're still not done yet, because now we have to deal with the silver, which is the whole point! The whole point is the silver. So the silver is in basic oxygen furnaces, or boffs. Glorious boffs. I need my boffs. Oh, here come the minions delivering stuff. I don't know how many boffs I'm going to need. Boffs are big, and then I don't know how many casting units I'll additionally need, so chances are I'll probably need a third square. Which is a little bit of a shame, but I think I'm okay with it overall if I do need a third square. In fact, what I should do... what I'm going to do is... this. Wow. Right. Let's make things a little bit better. So the point here of this is now I am adjusted to my new blueprint layout, which doesn't have the issue of that I was having with too many wire connections. Which is fantastic. I'm very happy that I no longer have the issue with the wire connections. I will need to clean the map a little bit. Oh, come on. Stop hitching and dodging and weaving. Like, seriously, I am noticing lately that, yeah, I can stretch out. I clearly am hovering, like, I've clearly selected stuff, and then if I release somehow on a skipped frame, it, like, ignores everything. Just drops it. Anyway. Oh, thank you for taking stuff away. Where are my boffs? My boffs have arrived. They have arrived. How many do I need? And how much oxygen am I going to need? That's the other question. That's the other point. How much oxygen is needed here? Molten silver from high-grade silver. What are you gonna need? Oh, I apparently only need 2. Only 2 buffs are required here. So, I guess I'm gonna place them here. Only 2 buffs needed. Hello, kitty. I see you. You're under my desk. You came through. Yeah? You gonna come up via the chair, or what? You're looking at me. Yeah, you gonna come up? You're gonna go around. You're gonna go around. Alright. Sure. Be that way. Let's get... Oh. Hello. That's a lot of silver. How much you want to bet it's gonna be another 8 casting machines on the molten silver? Yeah. Sure. That's why I need this. Meow. Meow. What? Go, go. Go to your litter box. Go. That... Alright, fine. Go to your training pads. Sure. Yeah, that... I figured as much on that. Figures, 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 figures. He's gonna make messes now. Don't mind him. He's just making messes everywhere. We have training pads for this very reason. Hopefully he's actually using the training pads. Hopefully he's actually using them. Hopefully he's actually using them. That would be bad. Bad, kitty. Bad, kitty. Sure. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Can I fit this? That would be a hell no. 185 hours. 185 hours have passed. Have passed us by. I'm actually gonna do this here. Landfill that, copy, paste. Hey, stuff and things. Silver. Dang it! Dang it! Stupid thing. Actually, you know what? Do I even have proper space? I think so. I think we're still good there. Okay, oxygen. Do I make locally? It's only 40 units. That's like a single electrolyzer. Do I go through the effort of pulling oxygen up? Where is the closest? Well, I have oxygen here. I have oxygen up there, so I would have to bring it just over, down a little bit. That's fine by me. That is fine. I hope this is good. Oh, that's not good. That's not good. It's snot mail. Fine, whatever. The bum. Oxygen. Oxygen is now included. All my busy bees on the lead processing. Now you need borax and all that other good crap. Take that and that and that and that. And add some wonderful and beautiful fuel to that mix. And I think the other thing to do is increase to take flight times into consideration, and then we're done. Congratulations, everyone. We are now done. We are now done with all of the things. All of the things are done. If everything were to operate fully, which it's not because I won't have nearly enough oleochemicals to keep the processes moving. This process in particular moving. For the moment. Yeah, it's gonna take some time for stuff to get up here, I think, maybe. And then, oh, we are clearly not done. What am I thinking? We are clearly not done. Very, very clearly not done. Now we are done. Just as soon as I get power to everything. I said power to everything. Say hello to silver! Once I get the sand castings up here. So silver is the whole point. That's why I set the high-grade lead when this does back up to void in a burner. Instead of venting molten, I will save my graphite and my borax and just vent the high grade. But yeah, this is good. I like this. If everything were operating fully with enough nichrome, which of course there's not ever going to be enough nichrome, I would have all of the silver on the planet. All the silver and all the lead. And all of this is just from the 15 per second lead input. So it's a little... yeah, it's nice. I'll put it that way. It's nice how much output you get at this phase of the game. Post circuits, post blue science. In a post blue science world, silver is really handy and really nice to have. I am not worried about my ability to produce silver at this time. Not even remotely close to being worried about my ability to produce silver at this time. Making up to 20 units per second if I had the nichrome, the proper production of the nichrome to feed this. Why do I not have the proper production of nichrome? Because in order to get more nichrome, better nichrome, through a molten recipe, I would need molten chromium and molten nickel, neither of which I have gotten to that point yet for making. However, I will be doing that as soon as I start ground boring both of those. Both of those, however, will require drilling fluid 2. Well, correction, at the moment they will require lubricant, but when I switch over to doing drilling fluid 2 and I make that transition to using the drilling fluids to do my ground boring, that's when things are going to get very, very crazy and awesome, and things will be good. Things will be fantastic, even. They'll be great. Amazing is what they will be. Absolutely amazing. Also, where's my... I did not actually put the 2x2 in my thingy. Wait, what? 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 I was certain that I sized this correctly. That's correct. Hold up. I did that. Oh. Oh ho ho. Yeah, there's some stuff that's like off by a tile down there, but how did that... Why did that impact all of this spacing? That doesn't make any sense. That impacted this spacing somehow. Somehow or other. Oh my god, yeah, this is fully off kilter. Alright, well, that's gonna have to stay that way for now. Or it will stay that way for now. So, drilling fluid 2. Ahem, I apparently pasted my whole Twitter post just now. Drilling fluid 2. It is that time for some drilling fluid 2. Oh, that. Boric acid. Do I feel like doing additional boric acid via ground boring boron at this point, because boron requires drilling fluid 1? Do I feel like doing that? Do I feel like doing... Well, we've got the guar, we've technically got collagen. Although, I may want to do collagen at scale. The primary thing here that I need is the ethylene glycol. That is the primary ingredient here. It requires slacked lime and pure sand, chloroethanol, and water. Chloroethanol is ethylene chlorohydrin, ethylene, and water. Ethylene chlorohydrin is silver and chlorine and water. This is going to involve a lot of saline water overall. And you'll have to excuse me today. I am feeling very tired, and I don't know why. I think part of me is also really hesitant to actually do drilling fluid 2 and 3. Part of me, I think, is just quite hesitant to do this. So... Alright. Let's think. If I'm going to need chlorine... I'm going to set up a saltwater electrolysis line. Yeah, let's do something specific for this. Oddly enough, this is more lamps, which, you know, I should probably have lamps by now. I probably have lamps by now. A bunch of lamps. See, here's my current production of nichrome. It's insufficient amounts, and that's a lot of chromium and nickel that goes into a very small amount of nichrome. Even with productivity modules. I wonder, can you fit in a 2x2? That's what I wanted to check, actually. I don't know if you can fit within even the bounds of... my 2x2. It does not look like it. That is... a bit of a shame. Actually, with a little bit of modification, it could. I can make this fit, it's just I have to remove the, charging stations. I have to remove the charging stations. I can move the water wells out of the way, that's fine. That's interesting, you can just about fit. Would I want to do that, though? Probably not. Probably not. Big yawn today. So I do currently have a little bit of this going. It's primarily to get sodium hydroxide. And I'm doing all of this and, like, voiding extra hydrogen chloride. How much chlorine gets 30? Would it be better just to do the Tholen-based chlorine? I don't know. Maybe. Maybe because it would save on having to set this up for saline water. Not like I don't have the power for it either. Wow, just all of a sudden my energy is gone. I'm out of coffee and all this stuff. And we're not even halfway through the stream today. Do not know what's going on there. What even are you? Heat exchangers. Didn't I do a thing for asphalt? I don't know. Yeah, asphalt. Ashfalt. See, now that would help. A lot. Like, really, that would help. Oops. It's asphalt! Not gonna replace my aluminium tile with it, though. How much Tholen stuff do I currently have? My Tholen plants are where again? I have them somewhere or other. They exist. That's about all I know at this point. I have Tholen plants being made. I just don't know where. Thought it was somewhere near the top. Thought it was around here. That's heavy oil refineries and reformers. I know what the icon looks like. Dang it, where are you? Really, it's like it completely disappeared. I'm probably just blind, but here. Right here. How many do you have? How many do you have? So I've got plenty of plants, but nowhere even remotely close to enough atmospheric extractors. Boy. Yeah, that would be a problem. If I wanted to use them. The logistics are becoming a little bit nightmarish. Just a little bit nightmarish. Hello, kitty. Welcome back. Alright, so do I want to do this on another day and give myself some time to think about it and just do something else in the meantime? No, I'm gonna do this. I am going to do this. So I will need to burn excess sodium hydroxide. That is step one. How am I gonna only burn excess? Well, I would have to unload and have a thing that does a priority output and loads into the thing. Do your thing. Then I have to void up to 3 per second. Over 3 per second. So, burners. Welcome, burners, to the party. Hopefully 3 will be okay. I don't like this here because it's not part of my grid network, and it's like it's not something that I can just copy and paste. Makes it a little bit frustrating. Just a little bit frustrating. Let there be Coke. I'm not actually carrying any Coke on me. Alright, void the stuff. 2.67, that is not enough. That should be, though. Why not have it on both sides? Now, sodium hydroxide gets used in a variety of things. Lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of things. Which is why it's so disappointing to void it. But you gotta do what you gotta do, right? Any hoozles. So, 30 whole chlorine. Whoa, fricking ho. And yeah, this one is just filling another box, whereas this one's not. You are declining though, which is ideal, which is what I want. Because I want these moving at all times. Question, figures. How much saline do I actually have? What about you? Why do you not have that going? That sounds like a much better plan to me. Note that my excess saline is being voided. Just for reference, excess gets voided. Alright. This will have to do. Also, you need to go, like, here or something, and be behind overflow valves. Oh, really? Overflow valves. How about bringing me some of those? That would be great. I know I have a whole bunch of overflow valves, so this will not be a problem. Gosh, why am I am out of it today. I don't know why. My eyes. My eyes. I'm feeling tiredness in my eyes. It's like, it's crazy. It's nuts. It is a stormy day today. Or it will be stormy. It's been rainy. Hey, kitty. Yeah, you're getting up now? I do apologize, because this is not the same level of enthusiasm as should be expected. So, ethylene. Ethylene I was going to do out of Tholins. I might do out of methane, just because I have so much methane. I have methane farms, and I've got plenty of iron oxide. At least I should have plenty of iron oxide. And just pressured air, so gasifiers to do the ethylene on the chloroethanol. I need to actually have a look at how much I need of various things. FB reactors. Okay. FB reactors, that's here. Should have plenty of those. Let's get rid of some things, actually, from my inventory. Things that I know I don't really need for the moment. Yeah, let's actually get around to some real planning here. Let's do real planning. Alright, you will make ethylene. How much ethylene do you end up... Wow. God dang, that's a lot of pressure there. Quite a bit of iron oxide, too, to get just little bits of ethylene. Actually, let's work backwards. Mixers. Bring me my mixers. Bring me my mixers! I think it will be better working backwards than it will be attempting to work forwards. Because I know how much drilling fluid 2 I need per unit, so... In fact, if I have a ground borer on me, I can tell you that I will need exactly 300 per second on the drilling fluid 2. So, knowing that I need 300 per second on the drilling fluid 2, let me bring up that recipe for drilling fluid 2. So, making 300 per second in 6 mixers for this is 1.5 guar gum, 75 hydrogen chloride, 75 ethylene glycol. So 75 ethylene glycol, that's what I'm focusing on right now. Ethylene glycol made... Ethylene glycol. What is it made in? It is made in a scrubber. Scrubber. Bring me my Mark II scrubbers, please. How many scrubbers am I going to need to get 75 per second ethylene glycol? I see it's 6 mixers, so I'm going to make a note here, say 6 mixers. For 300 per second, drilling fluid 2 needs 3 per second collagen, 1.5 per second guar gum, 75 per second HCl, 75 per second ethylene glycol, and 150 per second of boric acid. Okay, ethylene glycol. How many of these beautiful scrubbers are you going to need to make 75 per second? One scrubber MKO2 for 75 per second ethylene glycol. This is 2.5 per second pure sand, 10 per second slacked lime, 50 per second water, and 50 per second of chlorethanol. Chloroethanol. Ethanol is made in a wet scrubber. Oh god, am I actually making wet scrubbers? I don't think I'm making wet scrubbers. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I'm not making wet scrubbers. Oops. Oops. Wet scrubbers. Yeah, that sounds better. Better. That sounds better. $5,000 tank. I should have those. Yes, I should have those. I should have those. I should have all of the things. All of the things, yes, all of the things. And I did set... Yeah, I did set it to get backed up here and fill the thing, so that I need to do logistic request here. Oh, that's something to do. I shouldn't be requesting 100, like, full stacks. Should not be requesting a full stack. Yeah, something like 5. 5 is good. Guess I've got all the productivity modules I need. Thing is, everything is going to fight over my circuit 2s. That's the only real issue, is that stuff's gonna fight for the circuit 2s at the moment, because I'm quite limited ultimately by nichrome, which is such a shame. Oh, hello. Ooh. Am I actually no longer making enough Nexilate? I forget where my Nexilate casting is here. I need to improve my Nexilate production. That being said, I've got like plenty of ways of making tailings and getting around having to do ground boring of Nexilate. Ground boring of Nexilate is actually optional, because it comes from tailings already. And tailings are pretty much straight up free. They are free. Always, always free, the tailings. Ah, yeah, I've got plenty of those on the network. Yeah, that's my sweet kitty getting comfy. So, how are those wet scrubbers looking? Non-existent. Did you not say that you had these on? Their way. I could have sworn. I could have sworn that I was making these things. I guess not. Also, I probably need another thing to make pipe. Just as an aside, I likely just need more pipe. Which means more use of iron and all that good stuff. Alright, how about bringing your duralumin up here, buddy, and the pipes over. They are apparently on the way. I apparently have, like, 4 grand pipes. Logistic storage is 0? Duralumin. Well, it's moving, but why is it so slow? I thought I had more than that. It's just the pulp, the aluminium pulp is problematic. I might have to do with, this. Just coke. Might have to do with just the sheer amount of coke needed for stuff. For stuff and things. Speaking of sheer amount of coke, wanted to check this chest. So, yeah, this chest indicates that I am not necessarily pulling on the network for my coke. I don't want to do this. Clearly I need more coke to be output to the south. But do I do stuff more locally? I don't know. I don't know. What are you asking me for? What are you asking me for? I don't know the answer to these things. Yet. Okay, point being, scrubbers, wet scrubbers, must have the wettest of scrubbers. The wettest of wet scrubbers. Seriously, though. Fine, I'll find a chest of frickin' tons of duralumin and give them directly to you. Because clearly, I need more duralumin for all of the things. Also, I should, you know, limit and limit. You know, I probably have another thingy doing 5000 L somewhere, but I never made a 1500. I think that's totally a thing. I'm pretty sure that's totes a thing. How you looking? Ooh, plenty of Muckmo pastures. Good! I need all of the Muckmo pastures. Or Muckmocks. I think they're supposed to be ox, so Muckmocks. I'm just gonna call them Muckmo. Though. 30 every 35 is the top tier. That's fine, actually. Salt and ash, those are free-ish. That gives you 0.86 on the lard. I'm thinking of having, like, all of the lard on the planet, so Oh, that's nice even numbers. That's nice even numbers. 21 Muckmo pastures. 6 on the salt, 3 on the falgi, 18 on the seeds from Erlesia, and 6 on the ash. Well, ash is free, so I want to make that note. It's 21 muck, 18 per second lard out, 6 per second ash, 18 per second seeds, 3 per second fallow, 6 per second salt in. Just wanted to make note of that before I shove it away. And yes, I know I can forcibly make even more wet scrubbers. I need to grab some circuit 2s and advanced small parts from other stuff. Like you. Yes, exactly like you. That and that. And there you go. Make me my wet scrubbers. So that I have a better idea of how many I need. You're consuming engine units as well. It's like, wow, that is expensive. That is highly expensive. Looks like I'm only getting 2 because of the Duralumin limitations here. Time to go back, keeping on the planning phases here. Where was I standing and doing my... Excuse me? Where was I doing my planning? Uh-oh. Where was I planning? Here. Get on the tile to move faster. I was planning right up here. So, wet scrubber. That's another cool building. Ooh. Ooh, stuff. Things! Aerofloat 15. Nickel. Ooh, hello. Nitrogen from activated carbon and cold clean air. That is a lot. Oh god, that is a... Wow! So, Pyanodon A. This is literally impossible in the current state of the game to actually use this 8,000 units. It is literally impossible to actually make use of this full 8,000 units per second with current fluid dynamics and pipe dynamics. Like, you can't use this. I'm pretty sure if you even output directly into a tank, that you're still not going to be moving at 8,000 units per second into a tank. Let alone... I mean, you might be able to get individual lines out enough on a big enough tank off of direct input or series of tanks on direct input. I just don't see it. I don't see it being a thing that's even remotely possible to make use of a full 8,000 per second. That is nuts. And of course, this is a Mark II machine, so it's less on the Mark I, but sheesh. Like, holy crap. Anyway, chlorethanol. I needed 50. Yeah, that actually is handy. Scrubber Mark II from Wet Scrubber 1. 50, 25 ethylene. So I need 50 chlorethanol, 50 per second in one wet scrubber, MkO2. Needs 50 per second of the ethylene chlorohydrin. Chlorohydrin. 25 per second ethylene. And 150 per second water. So ethylene chlorohydrin is in the FB reactor, as we have mentioned, or I mentioned a long time ago. Ethylene chlorohydrin needing 50 per second, so that is 2 FP reactors. 50 per second in 2x FB reactors. This is 1.5 per second silver, 50 per second chlorine, and 150 per second water. The ethylene oh, right, I already have the thing. Making 20... Of course, it's not going to be at ratio. What is the math at 25? So 0.6 over 20 by 25, 0.83? So 25 per second in 2x gasifiers MkO2. It's 0.83 repeating. Iron oxide 83.3 repeating of pressured air, and let's see, 16.6 repeating over 20 times 25 is 20.83 repeating on the methane. I have all of that, by the way. This isn't the issue, actually. This little value right here, this value is the issue. This is the bottleneck, is 50 per second of chlorine. Just because of how much of a bit of a pain in the ass the chlorine is. You can get it from tholins, you can get it from saline water. What would be involved in getting 50 units of chlorine per second from tholins? Because I want to point out this is 30, right? This is 30, and that's not taking into account how much HCl I need. I need 75 per second on the HCl, so even more. Which is why I'm going to give a serious consideration to my tholins. At this point in time. I will look at the tholin plant so that I can get a much better idea of... Okay, well, that makes things very simple. So if it's only 5 plants, 50, 83.33. Alright, well, how many of these guys is 83.33? 17. 17. So I'm 10 short. Just gonna throw that out there. I'm 10 short. But that's 50 chlorine. Okay? That's 50 per second on the chlorine. Only 50 per second on the chlorine. Oh, God, I got rid of my thingies here. Pretty sure I'm making these. I will be sad if I'm not actually automating these. I should be, considering they're used as ingredients. So, the stolen stuff would cover the chlorine need. But we're gonna run into issues on the hydrogen chloride side of things. Because I want a consistent way of getting hydrogen chloride, or making hydrogen chloride. I'm getting some... Like, I'm getting some out of various processes. Like, this isn't as much of an issue, because I am getting hydrogen chloride through various other processes, but that's like byproducts, and I don't want to depend on byproducts moving, or the base materials that recipes that have the hydrogen chloride as a byproduct moving. I don't want to depend on this always moving. For example, I don't want to be completely dependent on the sodium sulfate and the sodium bisulfate always moving. Because that would be bad, because they will eventually be backed up, and then I don't have that production anymore. So... then I have to think... so I said that was 5 and 17, right? So... it's 5... MkO2 Tholen plant from 17 extractors for 50 per second chlorine. So that's the chlorine. You have this recipe. Of course it's 1-to-1. Of course it's 1-to-1. So the 75 hydrogen chloride that is then involved in the actual production of the drilling fluid 2 that is necessary would need 75 per second chlorine. That's another 8. That would be another 8 of the plants. And even more extractors. Did I pick them up? No, I didn't. So... that is 133 1/3. So 27. Can probably get away with one less in total here. 17 plus 27, 44. So 44 MkO2 Tholen extractors and 13 plants for enough chlorine. I am ignoring the hydrogen for the moment involved in the actual production of the HCl. Okay, I have some semblance of a plan. However, I did just mention I need 44 extractors. I have 7. 7 atmospheric extractors Pretty sure I have the 13 plants. Like, there's my plants. That's simple enough. But the extractors are the problem, and the extractors are exclusively bound by the amount of circuit boards that I have available to me. So let's cheat. Let's go around grabbing everything and try to force stuff to happen. Make things move, please. This is gonna be a lot, by the way. Like, a lot. So, 25 by 30. Oh yeah, it's a cycle for 750. Oh gosh, so we're talking nearly on the order of needing 1,000 circuit twos. Please, God, let there be enough circuit twos across all of my logistic requests everywhere. That was a big load. That's more. And the circuit twos will only exist on, like, the Mark II stuff for the most part, so I only really have to look at all the stuff offloading Mark IIs. And just have to realize that I may not have as many circuit boards as I need for as many plants as I currently desire. That will just be a thing. Oh, so many belts. I like you a lot. I'd figure out which things of the... Ooh, handy. Handy to note that. Yes, give me all of these extractors. That's 13, 14, 15. Wait, what? Anyway. Oh, you're also going to run into a duralumin issue, aren't you? You are definitely not going to run into a lead issue. Just gonna throw that out there. Lead, yeah, lead will not be a problem. That is not going to be problematic ever. Oh, hello, Cash. Hello, Cash. That is a huge request for circuit twos. That's where all the circuit twos have been going. Oh boy. So that's where they've gone. They've gone into my crystal mine Mark IIs. Oh joy. That's where they've been disappearing to. All this time. Wait, you don't use circuit twos directly? Interesting. Oh, there's another big request. And another big request. Good to know. Take the things, please. Oh, I'm not gonna have enough inventory space for all of this. Yeah, take the screeners. All the screeners? Yeah, all the screeners. Sure. Take the methanol reactors and a whole bunch of other crap. Filter Mark 1s. Yeah, sure. Don't need them. Probably don't need the Mark 1 HPFs either. Should be starting to accrue them, actually. Don't really need to hold on to that much landfill either. These will eventually be limited by Duralumin and the advanced small parts. Okay. Fortunately, I've got huge caches of both. So I don't really need to worry about that so long as I manually reallocate the resources. Now it should be pretty much just a waiting game. I needed 44. I am a little bit shy of 33. 34, so 10 more. Do I have all of the resources for 10 more? It's... yeah, I think I've got more than 200 on the Duralumin. What about the advanced small parts? Do I have over 200 in here? I do, so I definitely have enough for this to make the full stack of 10. I can help it out by throwing stuff in by hand to here. Including those. And we're good. There's my atmospheric extractors that I need, and all my fallen plants. So this... I can't believe I'm doing this for chlorine, when I've said so many times that saline water is free. I have said that saline water is free. But it is space. It's technically free, but it is space. What is the more space efficient? It's these tholins. Tholins are more space efficient in and of themselves. And you don't have to deal with the sodium hydroxide byproduct either, which is very important. Because the saline water is this. This is saline water at this point. Like, this whole setup here, we've got 160 frickin' algae plantations to 4 belts of coal being converted into some coal gas and plenty of saline from the tar that gets produced out of this. So, and there's like a bunch of tailings that also get produced out of this that I could use to make into Nexilate plates. Ooh, there's an idea. I could make Nexilate plates out of the tailings that get produced out of my primary saline water production. Note that a lot of my saline water is going into my Zipier processing line, or production, I should say. Zipiers require non-zero saline. Plenty of saline. So bear that in mind, that while I could do another one of these, maybe one or two, I still wouldn't end up with enough chlorine. And I'd still have to deal with the excess salt water. Do I want to do what I'm thinking here and actually use this? No. No, I've committed. I have committed to this line of reasoning. I have committed to it. So 2 FB reactors, 1 Mark II wet scrubber, 1 Mark II scrubber. I will need some pure sand, which is easy enough. I will need some slacked lime, which is also easy enough. Pulling up methane, again, easy enough. I need 2 gasifiers of this to feed 6 mixers. This does not at all take into account the boric acid, or the collagen, or the gorgum requirements here. And for reference, I would need to do this for every 300 per second of drilling fluid 2 that I need. So each and every single one, that's what will be required going forward. Also, there be a problem with a wire here. There you go. There you go. So clearly, it would be in my best interest if I'm trying to fit 44 Tholen atmospheric extractors into a space. I'm going to need more efficiency modules. If I don't care about how much energy I'm using, I could do productivity modules, but I am not even remotely going to come close to thinking about that. About doing that. So... Oh, 12 is handy. Okay, so 14 on a line. Maybe 15 if I move it over 1. Or just move it a little bit over. I don't want to move it over 14. $28. I mean, I could just make this whole thing into Tholens. Like, here be Tholens. I'm out. Uh-oh. Ooh, thingy in the way. Oh, right, power. Power will be a slight issue. Excuse me? Oh, that's 56. Oh. Right, because 28 times 2 is 56. Do I just, like, keep copy-paste the whole line down? No, because I want, or will have to do the piping and the power before thinking about that. Because the... Oh. Oh, hello. I'm apparently actually crafting more. More have been crafted. I can't believe I'm doing this just to get chlorine. I can't believe I'm done this. It's convenient. That's the only reason why I'm doing this, is that it's convenient. Like, in all actuality, the only reason to do this way for chlorine is the convenience. Sure, may as well. Let's do a copy. And paste. That will place all my wonderful, beautiful things. Oh, I was off. Oops. Hey, kitty. What are you up to? What shenaniganry are you up to, kitty? And then I could, like, copy this and paste in this entire grid square, 2x2 grid square. And have all of the Tholins on the planet, no matter how much power it actually draws. Oh boy, yeah. A megawatt each, yeah, figures. Without the efficiency modules in them, it's a megawatt each. 400 kilowatts with the efficiency modules per. Then I have to think, where exactly am I going to... Yeah, I can't really do that way. I have to hook up the Tholins. And then I guess next door is the ideal place to do the Tholin plants. Right? That, I think, makes the most sense. Maybe not there, though. Like, maybe not have your outputs blocked by buildings. That would be great. So 13 is the minimum I need for chlorine. Can't believe I'm doing this for chlorine and then not doing it for ethylene. Like, what world are you living in? What world is this where it's actually okay to do this for chlorine? Like, there are so few things that Tholins are actually good for. Acetylene is one. That's like top tier #1 thing that Tholins are good for, is making acetylene to avoid the coke pull demand. But most of this other stuff, it's like carbon dioxide, that's organic matter from logs. Logs to organic matter to carbon dioxide is so much better than this. Cyanic acid is urea, which is mushrooms, pretty much, so Yeah, no. Why? Ethylene is also technically fairly free. Syngas is coal gas, which is coke from, or which is coal from mushrooms. Mushrooms to coal gas to syngas. That's easy enough. Maybe acetone. Maybe propene. Maybe not refined syngas. Not methanol. Although the methanol would save some rarer products. Definitely not nitrogen. Definitely not acid gas or ammonia. Or even benzene. So yeah, it's like, and definitely not methane, which is just moondrops. Moondrop greenhouses are methane. So really, and then the chlorine, it's arguable. It's just saving effort on chlorine, because I would argue that setting up the Tholen stuff is a heck of a lot simpler of a process than setting up the stuff and things. Stuff and things! Yes, the stuff and other things. Then setting up the actual saltwater electrolysis and setting up saltwater to begin with. This, while this may look like a fairly large footprint, the salt water is a much bigger footprint to get renewably like this. Because this is fully renewable. Fully renewable. It's from air. It's chlorine from air. Basically. From nothing. From power. That's what it is. It's stuff from power, and my power is perpetually from water from mushrooms, so it's nice. It's really nice how this works. Let there be power. And yes, ideally I would also have efficiency modules in here. I'm just a little bit lacking on the efficiency module side of things. I need 314 now just to get through the backlog. And I'm waiting on 36 speed modules, apparently, to get through the backlog. And there's apparently 4 of these still to be made. Or placed. Made and placed. On my alerts. You can't see my alerts, because the window is behind me on the screen, but that is what it says. 314 on the efficiency, 36 on the speed, and 4 on the Tholen atmospheric extractors. So, there's my 13 of these, giving me 130 chlorine per second. That may not seem like a lot, but in reality, it is exactly what I need right now. Now, next decision to be made is, where am I going to be doing all of my work with mixers and things? Actually, sadly, probably on the complete other side or above. Let's go with on the complete other side. I did mention that I wanted to have a blank grid. A blank grid set. So this will be my blank. And then this will be where I begin my ethylene glycol production. Where is this? Kill all of that, please. I said kill all of that, please. So, the ethylene glycol. That is what we're working on now. On the path to drilling fluid 2. How many of these do I have? One? I'm gonna need more than that. Let me see. It's 2 FB reactors, that's step 1. So, FB reactors. In my step 1, let's get these, power poles placed, at least. A reminder that I did change my grid blueprint to now not include any medium power poles, so that I don't have to worry ever again about the wiring. At least going forward as I continue to expand this grid setup. And for reference, I don't even know if this grid setup is aligned in such a way that will make railroads, like, possible. Or if I could do railroads well with my grid currently. I don't have a single line of rail on my entire map yet. I've not made rails. Just period. Full stop. I have not made rails at all. Yeah, I like how this looks. Having these 2x2s, having a nice line of 2x2s, and then maybe having this empty line here before doing a bit more. Like, if I were to do rails, this empty line is where it would go, is where rails would go, is the empty lines. Maybe have an empty line out here as well. We shall see. We shall see how things go. Interesting how those are next to each other like that. Not like any of the ore matters anymore. Thus the point of going to the drilling fluid 2 and 3. Let's get rid of all of this nonsense of stone. So, FB reactors. Doink and a doink. Where is the thing? You! You are the thing. Yeah, so this, there, and, oh. That's not very convenient, is it? What sort of rotation? That's the rotation? Yes. That I am okay with. I'm okay with this as the rotation. Alright, you brought me these. Good. I'll place you there. Auto-saving! 186.5 hours. Sheesh. Goes by so very fast. Bring this down. Oh, I guess I'm going to also need some hydrogen up here, and perhaps the best way of getting the hydrogen will be the electrolyzers. There we go. I will also need a spot where I will be converting chlorine into hydrogen chloride, but that's that is a-okay. Maybe request a little bit extra on the silver. And that, as they say, should be that. The thing I didn't pay any attention to, yeah, okay, that's fine. That is perfectly fine that this does not take productivity. It would just really help with saving on silver in the end. Ah, and here comes the silver. Speaking of the devil, there it goes. Silver should be filling up all my chests. Excellent. I like. So, as messy as this looks, I wish I could fit all these within the 2 squares. I'm sure it's possible if I actually planned. If I actually planned. But yeah, this is my yellow belt equivalent input of lead ore into high grade lead and silver, with a focus on being able to get as much silver out of it as possible, even if I am backed up on the lead. I don't foresee myself being backed up on the silver and that causing issues with my amounts of lead that I have. I don't foresee that being ultimately the problem. I would imagine that the silver would always be far more limiting than anything else. So, that is ethylene chlorohydrin. Next is the wet scrubber. Wet scrubber. Making chlorethanol from ethylene. Well, we need to make ethylene, don't we? That will be in these guys. Two of these guys. 2 Mark II gasifiers. Making ethylene. Actually, it produces water as well, and I need pressured air, which means I need pressure pumps. I probably need more pressure pumps. That's 100. I need 133. Could speed module, don't feel like it. Need to bring up methane. So, methane exists here. I did mention I have methane, right? Like, that is a thing that I said that I had. I have methane in 2 squares worth of relatively efficient moondrop greenhouses, and I am very much backed up on my methane. Question is, where is it all going? Where is it all meeting up? Really, where is it all meeting up? Because it all goes somewhere. It goes into this, but where is it inputting from? Here? Yeah, it's all going in on this, into this formaldehyde here. So, they're up. I can manage. That's reasonable enough. Let's, bring it down between stuff. do this backwards. Then here, it's... Ugh. Sucks trying to go to the left. Super sucks trying to go to the left. Because remember, it, oh, and then to go back down again. Oh, joy. Oh, that's such a joy. Why is it important that I do this? It's so that I don't end up accidentally copying and pasting extra pipe. Because that would be a problem. If I were to copy and paste extra pipe. Wow, this goes way down, apparently. All right, now to get the methane to here, semi-elegantly. Well, one thing I could do is actually bring it up to here and then go this way. Actually, ideally, it would be here, this line. That works. That works for me. That absolutely works for me. There's my methane. Glorious methane. Part of me is glad that Pyanodon decided that methane would come from plants, but also somewhat disappointed in the same vein that he didn't make methane available through animals in a confined space out of like cows. It's like, shouldn't you be able to get methane out of the muckmo? Like, seriously, there's supposed to be, like, cows. Alien cows. Shouldn't you be able to get methane in that to, like, put a cover over the enclosure and extract the methane produced out of that? Yeah. That's what would make sense to me. Do I want... Yeah, I guess I do need 2 as much as it encroaches. So then it is just a matter of pulling in these guys. Glorious iron oxide. Oh, and let's not forget about the concept of power. All that. You make water. I don't like that you make water. I'm going to void the water that you make. You make enough that one is fine. One sinkhole is fine. Now, as for you, you need 150 of water. So, actual water will come in here. There you go. And then this... Oh god. Alright. There we go. More power. There's the chlorethanol in the wet scrubber. Now we need a regular scrubber. Next is the regular scrubber to actually make the ethylene glycol out of slacked lime, pure sand, and chlorethanol. Well, pure sand is done in washers. Let me pull some washers. Mark II washers. I don't think I'm doing pure sand anywhere. At least not above my current demand. Yeah, I don't think I'm doing pure sand anywhere above current demand. I'm doing regular sand. And I'm doing regular sand here. Right in here. Do I want to expand this? I do have an empty thingy here. This is empty. I could do this here, and then... Yeah, I think I'll do that, so... In my last 20 minutes here, I will get my pure sand going. I can make slacked lime locally. Figure while I'm up here, I guess I may as well make the slacked lime that I need. This is only 10 per second that is needed of the slacked lime, and slacked lime, you make more than enough in a single thingy of it. Of course, water will be a thing. Slight problem. Getting the water in, getting that there, getting this sorted. That's all of that. Get requester chest of lime. And power. Now, I have lime. That is not an issue. I definitely have lime. At least I should have lime, anyway. Right. The water. Right, water. This is a mess of stuff, but it works. In fact, can you handle... Because I only need 10, and I would like to conserve my lime. That works. So, pure sand is really the only thing here that needs to be requested. On the way, stuff. Spare stuff, for the most part. Oh, and I guess before I run away, I want to absolutely make sure that I am storing this ethylene glycol. So just want to point out, every time I need 200 or 300 units per second of my drilling fluid 2, every time I will need these, 13 of these, 44 of these minimum, plus one of these setups, and everything that gets fed into it. So just like FYI, thinking about scale of things going forward. And that's just drilling fluid 2 for one thing that needs drilling fluid 2, let alone all of the other things that need drilling fluid 2. This is why I want to do the more, like, this is what's pushing me to do the more efficient processing processes, because it will ultimately save me space on the drilling fluids in the end. So I think I went a bit past, yeah. Let's get into this empty cell. I have no idea what I was originally planning for this empty cell to be, but at this point it is now going to be a pure sand production facility. Aw, that sucks. Why? That really sucks. Oh well. I'm gonna put 3 down for now. Have my requester chests. Not there. There, there, and there. Bring in the sand, bring in the sand. I should have plenty. I say that and I don't. Hey, buddy. You look like you need to be, shall we say, doubled! Like, you seem like you could do better off being doubled! As my swarm brings up the soil to feed it. Pretty sure I have the soil to feed it. 120. Yeah, we're good. We're fine. We're fine. 120 soil? Yeah, we're fine. We're just fine and happy. As for the tailings that come out of this, all of it will be demolished. Really? I need more sinkholes. Actually, I don't need more sinkholes, technically, but they'll be good to have. Alright, there's my pure sand production, taking 15 into 12. Granted, 4 of these is 20, not 15, so gives me a bit of overproduction. There's no such thing. There is no such thing as overproduction, simply buffers. There is only buffers exist. Only buffers exist in this game. So, pure sand is going up to feed the ethylene glycol. It should be moving now. The ethylene glycol. that should be moving. And I can see that we are moving on the scrubber. The scrubber's moving quite well, and we are filling these tanks with ethylene glycol. Yay! Let's do it 50 more times. Let's not do it 50 more times for the moment. Might end up having to do it 50 more times. We shall see. For now, though, chem plants. Am I gonna keep filling in the rest of this particular square? I think so. I think so, because this will be handy when setting up other things. So you are going to be needing in hydrogen and chlorine, so that spacing's not gonna work. That might. You are the HCl. 3. I am targeting 75. Yes, yes. This theoretically works. And I need the input. That's why I wanted to use the undergrounds there. Because these use lamps. Non-zero amounts of lamps, actually. Lots of lamps. Fortunately, because I increased the amount of copper production that I'm doing, I should have plenty of lamps at this point. That should not be a limitation. Speaking of limitation... There's the chlorine. Then I need some hydrogen, which I mentioned I wanted and had brought some electrolyzer. This is 75 hydrogen. Really high electrolyzer for high-grade alumina and titanium. Nichrome! You're gonna make me spend nichrome to do high grade on the aluminium chain? Really? Like, really? And then you're gonna make me spend aluminium plates on high grade titanium as well. Alright. I'm gonna do it. Just you wait. I'm gonna do it. It will be a thing, but I'm not gonna be happy about it. Yeah, so 1 is enough to feed it. Probably don't want it there, though. That is a better location. Yeah, 1... gas vent, and the perpetual need for water. Still have not even come close to using the full throughput of my little water well there. You. And that is ideally the HCl production. Should be pretty exact. Now, why did I need this HCl production here? And am I going to put it into a tank? I think I am. I'm gonna stick excess HCl into a tank here. Because this HCl is needed for when I put down my mixer to actually start Oh yeah, acid solvent's going to be a thing for copper. I need to remember that I'll need that for copper, and I will need some non-zero amounts of grease when I go into high-grade copper. Not currently doing high-grade copper at the moment, but anyway, it's besides the point. Beside the point. When I start doing drilling fluid 2 and drilling fluid 3, let's bear this in mind. The things are going to need 300. In fact, what is going to need 300? Blah 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 blah. Where are my thingies? You. Molly. Molly will need the fluid 3. Molly will need fluid 3. However, Molly operates a little bit differently, it looks like. So I'm not even going to need even remotely close to 300 fluid 3. Which means I'm not even going to need a full 75 on the ethylene glycol. So that's great. That I'm okay with. What about things like aluminium? That's going to be 300. Drilling fluid 2. The nickel is also going to be 300 drilling fluid 2. The zinc is going to be 250 drilling fluid 2. Okay. But, and then the niobium, I think the niobium is 2. That'll also be 300. And I think it's either the niobium or the nexolite that's fluid 3. I forget which one. I think, actually, the niobium might be fluid 3, and the nexolite is 2. But that would barely... Well, I guess effectively 300 for 15, but that should be fine. But things like limestone, stone, copper... oh, iron uses 2. Iron uses 2, and it's 250 of 2. Well, even at 250 of 2, it's like you still need... as if you're doing 300. So, better to plan out in that way, but only needing like half the amount of fluid 3, that's fine by me. But I'm gonna need a lot in the end of the fluid 3. So, realistically speaking, if I brought my boric acid up right now, I think I have enough spare boric acid to actually get this moving at this point and actually see non-zero fluid, drilling fluid 2. But we've taken care of the ethylene glycol and the hydrogen chloride. I have not yet scaled up my production potential of the guar gum. Realistically speaking, let me tell you exactly how much guar gum I currently have. I currently have 1.5. I currently have 1.5, so I need to double my guar gum production. Oh, that's gonna be fun. So I need to double my guar gum. So I need to have like a drilling fluid 2 to do. Double current guar gum. I also need to do boric acid more, preferably via ground boring. Now, if I do that, let me put this borer back out here. Excuse me, borer. Borax will be drilling fluid 1 required. This will require 200 drilling fluid 1, which is less, well, which is more, actually, than some of the other stuff to get 15 raw borax. But will I really need 15 raw borax to get what I need of the boric acid? Probably not. Probably not. So we shall see about that. Now, the whole point here, the first 300 per second of the drilling fluid 2 that I am going to be making is going into my chromium. Why is it going into my chromium? Because once it starts going into my chromium and I start producing the chromium via ground boring, now I also want to go back and do this as well with iron, so I need to alright, you know what, let's say triple drilling fluid 1, which is triple guar gum for that. So I think I need to 4x my current guar gum. Ground boric acid, ground bore iron. Now this is a transition I want to do after I start making everything start using the drilling fluid. Once I disable my mod that's making everything use lubricant. My mod, the one that I made and have up on the mod portal at the moment, the pi bore reversion mod. Pretty sure it's fluid 1 on the borax. Pretty sure it's fluid 1. Don't know if I want to target 15 per second. May as well. I would need syngas for that, just like I would need coal gas for iron. So I need to... I'm going to target these. So that's 450. That's 450 on the drilling fluid 1. Wait, what was I going... My current drilling fluid 1 is what is used on the lead. So my current drilling fluid 1 is reserved for lead. My 3 ground bores lead, 150... Actually, I think I'm making 250. So I think I have 100 that I can reduce by. So that's... Well, anyway. You get the idea of... I'm going to need lots of sand, lots of guar, lots of water. I have the copper. At least I should have the copper anyway. And then this will get me the boric acid and then some to fuel this. So then the other thing is I need collagen. Lots of collagen. Renewably. Collagen only exists through urea, skin, acetic acid, and steam. That is the only way you're getting collagen. I have the urea. I have skin. I have acetic. I have steam. The problem is, do I have enough skin? Acetic and acetic. Acetic is only from chromium, methanol, and carbon dioxide, methanol, various ways. I just have to do these at scale, which is the thing. And then skin is through Zapier processing and all of that nonsense. So then I have to think about, okay, now I have to do Zapier at scale. So we are nowhere near actually truly finishing drilling fluid 2 and having something permanent set up for fluid 2 until after I am able to make my collagen bot-based and I have scaled up and am doing my boric acid bot-based, which if I'm doing that, I may as well get my iron bot-based because iron, of course, is needed for drill heads. Iron plus steel plates are needed for drill heads, so iron ore is needed for the drill heads. And the whole point of getting the drilling fluid 2 for the chromium is to have the chromium for the drill heads that feed everything else. It is highly, highly, highly net positive, just for reference, for the drill heads. The drill heads are, like, massively net positive as they get used in ground boring of things. That I'm not worried about. I just need to do it first. And then I can worry about being able to ground bore everything else. And this is giving me the opportunity to also do high-grade processing of various things, like, you know, our first thing here. First high-grade is lead and silver. That's the first high-grade step. So with that, it is time to end off the stream for today. What got done today? Well, I finished off the lead processing, then had a bit of a lull for a little while. I just was struck by tiredness and a desire to just not do anything for some reason. But managed to get through it by planning out the actual ethylene glycol and what I'm doing to get chlorine in particular without having to set up another one of these bastard things. Without having to set up one of these huge, ginormous thing that's only giving me like 400-something units per second of saline water, plus some coal gas in the end. It's like, well, if I want coal gas, I have a coal gas thing through all of this. This is my coal gas. What even am I doing with the tar out of this? I don't even... I don't even... Where is the tar going in this? Did I, like, forget to do something with the tar in this? I hooked all the tar up, but what did I do to it? Oh, right, it's going... It's here. It's going into the gasifiers to make even more coal gas. That's what it's doing. I can easily change that to make it saline. But anyway, I know I'm going to need more saline for other things, for the Zipier, for the collagen, and all that nonsense, but... stuff and things. It's easier to get the chlorine out of this and not have to worry about dealing with, splitting salt water and having to deal with the extra sodium hydroxide. It's like, if you want sodium hydroxide, do it to get the sodium hydroxide as the primary thing, and treat the chlorine and hydrogen as byproducts, I would say. Get your hydrogen for free out of water, and get your chlorine out of tholins. That's what I have to say about that currently, and that is exactly what I am doing now. And as I had said before, I changed my grid layout blueprints. I now have a 2x2 grid size, as well as a 1x1 size, that no longer rely at all on medium power poles, so I will never have to worry about the wires not behaving, and the wire limit on the big poles, and having more than 5. So that is also a thing. And, of course, I am now making the beautiful ethylene glycol up here, as well as the hydrogen chloride for my drilling fluid too. Next time will be more work towards drilling fluid 2, although I did just make a whole bunch of notes of things to do that will involve the drilling fluid 1. Things like the drilling of borax for the boric acid that will be involved in the drilling fluid 2. Things like vastly improving my guar plantation setup. So lots and lots of things that can be done that I will begin working on next time. With that, I would like to thank you all for watching. This has been Otaku's Showboat. If you're watching the VOD on YouTube, don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and if you are so inclined, head on over to twitch.tv/OtakuShowboat to leave a follow and turn on notifications to be reminded when I go live. Starting next week, Sundays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays, from 10 a.m. to approximately 1 p.m. U.S. Eastern Time. For the rest of this week, I will be streaming, for reference, so I will be streaming on Thursday and Friday of this week. Bear that in mind. I hope to see you all on the next one. Don't forget to answer the question of the day of what other content would you like to see on my channel. I've already mentioned that I'm doing tutorials, and that I want to go back and do repeats of a lot of the older content that exists on my channel, doing it in much higher current quality versus past me worse quality. So let me know if you want to see that, what you want to see of that, or what else you would like to see. let me know in the comments, and I will definitely be adding to the list, making the list of things to do during my time that I will have available to me on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays going forward. So I hope to see you all on the next one.